Yes, people, this is your girl Aleisha Lee and welcome back to another episode of Aleisha Lee Reviews. In this episode, we are reviewing Top Boy Season 3, Episode 3, Birthday Party. Let's get into this. We start the episode with what appears to be one of Sai's crew members being robbed. Just as things are about to get sticky, that's when the police arrive and Sai and his crew have to split, leaving their comrade on the ground after he's just been robbed. We then see Sully, Dushane and one of the carers from the home in the CAF discussing logistics about what is about to happen. Now Sully is obviously not going to have it with the Irish crew and he is making plans. He's getting plans in place to basically take them out. He's got the carer here to give him an insight and he's giving her instructions on what she needs to do on the day. He's fully aware that they're going to be at the home to celebrate the birthday party of their relative. So Sully is making plans to ensure that everything runs smoothly on the day. The carer explains that they can wait in a room where one of the patients doesn't wake up. Basically, she's always sleeping, so she says that they can wait there whilst they execute the plan and whilst they wait for the signal from her to let them know that the Irish squad has arrived. Dushane calls his lawyer to find out the update on where Lizzie and Life are. Now, the lawyer says that the investigator wants some money, he wants his money now. Now, something is just telling me that this lawyer's lying. I don't know what it is, but something's telling me all the money's going to the lawyer. Next, we see Mandy has come to visit Jack, Bex and the baby. After everything that happened with Lauren in the last episode, she's here to show support. Jack clearly still devastated. She's not really hearing what Mandy's saying. She's hearing it, but she's still in defense mode. And even Bex had to jump in, just defending what Mandy was saying she weren't having a go at Lauren, just, giving an example of what she experienced when she was in prison. Sully comes to visit Jack and you can see Mandy is... She can't stand Sully. She knows what Sully done. So we see Mandy just go to the kitchen and get things prepared while Sully has a word with Jack. And he lets Jack know that he's there for her and if she needs to speak or if she needs anything to let him know. And I thought it was really nice of Sully to be supportive. Now when Sully says, if she needs anything, let him know, Jack does mention she wants to know who sold it to Lauren. And Sully is trying to talk her out of it. He's like, that's not the answer. Because at the end of the day, Lauren was the one that took it. So you can't really blame anyone else. Sully says to Jack, don't be silly. Basically, don't be him. Don't go out seeking revenge. Just accept the fact that this is on Lauren. He doesn't want her to end up like him, trying to seek revenge and it not making you feel any better. It leading you down a path that will make you feel worse than you did before. But Jack wants names and she wants it ASAP. Next, we see Erin and Stefan having a good old time, just enjoying each other's company. Stefan's busting out the moves. He even gets a little bib from a car passing by, loving his moves, and they just bust some jokes and just having a good time, spending time together. Now we are in the city with Jeffrey and it is not looking good. He finds out from the banker that the funds or everything is gone. Everything is gone. Lizzie has taken the whole lot, the whole 15 million, the investment is gone, and Jeffrey, he's lost it. His phone is ringing. Yes, it's Dushane, and Jeffrey, I think in his heart of hearts knows that he's a dead man walking because those funds are gone. Lizzie and Life are gone and he has no way of getting those funds back. Oh, poor Jeffrey. Jeffrey goes home and he is literally sick to his stomach after hearing that revelation that all of the money is gone. You can see him in the toilet being sick, and that is when the bell rings and it's Dushane. Dushane comes in and Jeffrey lets him know the news, and of course Dushane doesn't take it very well. He takes it so badly to the point, yes, he kills Jeffrey in the most sloppy, messy, unorganized way possible. I think just him hearing the news, the rage took over. He lost his sense of anything. Sense went out the window. That's all he could do. That's all that made sense to him. I don't know how that made sense, but that's what made sense to Dushane, and he made an absolute mess of the scene. Nah, man, I felt so sorry for Jeffrey. Dushane was not stopping. He just kept going. Then he goes to pick up Pan to finish up the job. I said, Dushane, Jeffrey, he didn't even bother fight. He just gave up from the beginning. Jeffrey was tired. I think Jeffrey just said, you know what? He's going to do what he's going to do, whatever. And I'm tired. Lizzie, life, Dushane, bye. Sully goes to visit Johnny to have a chat, and Sully lets him know, don't call me boy again because you won't be alive by the end of the week. Spoiler alert, Johnny lets him know that he thinks that they would be great business partners. Obviously Sully, he's just entertaining it. Yeah, we can talk, but Sully has more plans for Johnny than he could ever imagine. Next we see Stefan and Erin. Steph invites Erin round, and Erin lets it be known no funny stuff is going on and they need to go and get tested. That's exactly what they are going to do, but Erin makes it very clear she does like him, and if they are going to take things to the next step, they need to do it properly. Next we see Dushane has reached home, still washing his hands. Shelley arrives and she starts speaking to him about the nail shop, and he lets her know nothing's happening. There ain't no shop. The money gone. It ain't happening. Shelley just looks shocked because the last she knew, he was like, yes, it's happening. Everything's there. Don't worry. And now all of a sudden, it's not happening. So, you know, Shelley is quite confused. Shelley tries to speak to Dushane and find out what is going on, and he tells her to mind her business and leaves. That is where he meets Sully, who's waiting for him outside, and they are going to discuss the next move. We are now with Jack and Bex. Kieran comes to visit Jack and lets her know about the beef that took place, which we saw earlier on. And Bex, she's like, did you have to tell her this? Like, Kieran, why are you here? Like, if you can handle it. Jack lets her know she's going to do what she needs to do. And clearly Bex is trying to explain to her that you've got new responsibilities now. You don't need to be outside. But Jack goes anyway. Jack and Kieran go to visit the LF squad and let them know that they're not going to retaliate. Instead, they're going to focus on making that money that they lost. Instead of them wasting time going around the ends trying to look for who done it, they need to focus on making that money. Jack makes a point that they've already got one of their soldiers down and he's in A&E, so their main focus now should be getting this money. One of them mentions that how do they expect them to get the money when they keep on killing off the man them? Jack says, what? That's when she lets them know that it was in fact Jamie that took out Kit. They are in disbelief. Jack makes it known that no one knows who killed Jamie. She says that Jamie was a good worker and he was the only one that they listened to, so why would they want to get rid of him? Once they leave, Jack asks Kieran who shot to Lauren, and she's not going to give up until she finds out that answer. Kieran lets her know. You know what Jack is going to do. You know what she's going to do. Shelley gets to the shop and she lets Naomi know that the chain is not happening. She breaks down and she's really upset. You can see that the situation that just happened really upset her. Now, one thing though, Shelley never mentioned Lauren. Not even a little rest in peace, Lauren. Shelley just thinking about these shops. She's just thinking about these shops, but unfortunately, the shops are not going to happen because Dushane does not have the P. Now we see the man them. They're getting ready to ride out. We see Sully and Dushane are putting on bulletproofs. They're putting on their black attire. So you know they are getting ready to commit some sort of horrible mission. We're going to the old people's home to do that mission. Now we are back at the retirement home and the plan is underway. We can see that the carer that Sully has instructed is getting everything underway, making sure she turns off the CCTV so that they can enter the building. Now we see Jack has ended up at Ro's house. She looked up and poor Ro, he can see her and she can see him as well. When Ro's mum opens the door, she tries to defend her son by saying that he isn't home, but Jack knows and she barges past her and starts to punch Ro. It's so sad because at the end of it, he says he was just doing what Jack asked him to do, and she even has to stop and realize herself she's the one that asked him to do it. He's one of her workers, so essentially Lauren's passing could be seen as her fault. I think the moment he said that, that's when it hit Jack. Back to the retirement home. Whilst Dushane and Sully are patiently waiting for the Irish gang to arrive, Dushane is asking Sully questions like, I thought this was patterned up, what's going on? And Sully's like, just leave. Sully don't want to hear the talking, he don't want to hear the questions, just leave. And then he lets it be known, like, you wanted to be here, you wanted to be a part of this. He's dealing with the problem, but Dushane keeps on going on, and that's when Auntie wakes up. I'm not gonna lie, that scene was too funny when Auntie woke up and Sully's there like, Auntie, go back to sleep. Shh, Auntie, go back to sleep. I said, nah. And if I was Auntie, I would have done exactly the same thing. How does any man just sitting in my room? I said, let me mind my business. I'm going back to sleep. Yes. Sully looks at Dushane and tells him to stop talking because all of this chitter chatter got the woman waking up. They just need to be patient. As that is happening, we see that Johnny and his uncle are on their way to the retirement home. So we know that it won't be long until they're there. Whilst they're on their way, they also discuss Sully. And I think Johnny likes Sully. He likes the no nonsense attitude because remember when they were at the ring, he was saying that he thinks that they're quite similar. And he's saying the same kind of sentiment to his uncle, letting him know that he thinks that Sully's got his head on his shoulders and he thinks that they'll be good at working together. But we're going to see very shortly that ain't the case. Now, once they arrive, they sit down and it's nice to see Johnny's uncle greet his dad, and his dad is so happy to see him. Johnny calls Angelica to get them some glasses for their drinks. You can see the woman is nervous. She is so nervous. She knows what's about to go down. As soon as they get that text letting them know that they have arrived, they are ready to ride out. And as they're in the corridor, they are met one of the elderly people. Yeah, drop me off at Bethnal Green, please. And the way Sully just pushes him back in his room. Now, just as Sully pushes that man back into his room, that is when Johnny spots him and they start having that shootout. Now, miraculously, as far as I can see, none of the elderly people were injured, but my gosh, the disrespect. Sully even used one of the elderly people as an armrest whilst he was aiming. I said, this is absolutely disgusting behaviour. I know. Now, they get a shot at the uncle straight in the neck, and it's so unfortunate the uncle is dying in front of his dad, and Sully just comes over and just finishes him off with no remorse. Then you see that Sully has got Johnny right where he wants him, and he says the same thing that Johnny said to him, then proceeds to finish him off. I said, wow, this is ruthless. They then take the belt from Johnny's waist to go down, get the keys to get that food. And remember, Sully spotted this food the last time he was there, so he knows exactly where to go. After they take the food, they make their escape. You can hear the police sirens in the background on their way to the scene, and Abigail, she is sitting there in a room because she knows what she has just done. Now we are back with the Fields Law, and that is when Stefan finally lets Si know who killed his brother. He tells him that he saw who killed Jamie that night, and Si says it for him, Sully. And Stefan nods yes, and that is how episode 3 ends. Wow, this episode was jam-packed. Now, there was even moments of comedy when Sully told Auntie go back to sleep. We didn't need that bit in there. We didn't need it, but we needed it. That was absolute gold. And also just seeing the Irish being taken out like that. Now, I honestly thought the Irish would at least make it to the last episode, but episode 3, I thought they were coming with big plans. There was going to be, but no, Sully made it very clear there is only going to be one top boy, and that is him. Even telling Dushane to shut up in moments because Dushane was talking too much whilst they're on the mission. Absolutely crazy. Now, Jack trying to deal with the loss of Lauren, but maybe not going the right way about it by punching Row Up, who made a great point that it was down to her instructions why he was selling to Lauren in the first place. And I know that this is definitely making her think about everything. Erin and Stefan getting closer in their relationship as well. So much went on in this episode. And definitely what topped it off was the end where Sully and Dushane have taken the Irish out, and they've done it with such ruthlessness as well. Wow, what an episode. I'm going to give this episode 8 boys out of 10. That was Top Boy, Season 3, Episode 3, birthday party, and wow, what a birthday party that was. Definitely won't be forgetting that one. Top Boy episode 3 birthday party. Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a comment down below. What did you think of this episode, and how many boys out of 10 would you give it? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so you are notified when the next Top Boy review is out. And yeah, I will catch you in the next Top Boy review. Don't know, boy. People don't know. I just want to enjoy my day. So live your life, girl.